flooding of trucks and these things that are spiraling out of control in our country, it is due to the cause of Zuma being arrested and this looming thing. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, trucks are being tortured and things are spiraling out of control in our country. So the question has been asked by none other than the vocal one, Mr. Silo Julius Malema. He asked this basic, simple yet fundamental question and say, hey, Ramaphosa, do you want the country to burn because now you want Jacob Zuma to go back to prison? What exactly is in your head? What is in your head? Do you want the country to burn? That is the question that was asked by Julius Malema. We will talk about that. Don't worry. We will divulge all of that. But now Ubaba Tutuzane, he's accused of expropriation without compensation of artists. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly also what we need to talk about in this video. People, there's an organization that have rejected this thing of Zuma must go back to prison and finish his sentence. And hey, we reject that. You know, when you are living in a very in a country where you have a lot of support like Jacob Zuma, where people can tell the court after the court judgment that we reject your judgment. Welcome to South Africa, guys. Nevertheless, we will continue. I'll unpack all of those things provided that you are interested. If you are interested, then please stick around. As you stick around, there's only one favor that I'm requesting from you guys, and that favor is that you subscribe, you like the video, and you do comment in the comment section below. Why do you need to do all of those nice things, good people? Well, you need to do it because doing it does help out a lot when it comes to the YouTube algorithm to promote and spread this video to as many people as possible. So definitely, good people, the power here is in your hands. I told you, the power is in your hands. Come on. Don't be jealous. Subscribe, guys. Click the notification bell. Come on, guys. Comment. Guys, don't be jealous like others. Here, we are free. You know what I'm saying? We are relaxed. We are nice. We are simple here. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. All of you guys. I love you guys. Yes, thank you for choosing this YouTube channel. But again, I know you are here. You're saying, Bongs, what are we here for today? I've already told you what we're here for. So where do we start? Let's start with Jacob Zuma being accused of expropriation of artists without compensation. You came up with the concept of expropriation without compensation of land and all the stuff. God, now you're going to expropriate the artist without compensation. Hey, Zakbamba. Baba Tutuzan, stop that. Well, it's not what I say. I know Zuma has got a lot of fans out there. So they will come blazing after me. Guys, it's not what I say. You know what I'm saying? Lest you hate me. Come on, guys. It's not what I say. But let's get into this one. According to News 24, is it News 24? Yes, it's News 24. They came up with this article where they said, KwaZulu-Natal-based cartoonist and painter sees was Kakane is growing in frustrated as former President Jacob Zuma refuses to pay him 120,000 rand for the painting he has taken from him, allegedly refused to hand them back. Go show this person. Kakane accused Zuma of taking two of his painting, which are profile work for the statement between 2021 and 2022, after being introduced to him by a former head of state elder brother Joseph and visiting his Nkandla home, where he requested to keep them and pay them. Right. So hey, angifuna ukungasho, it's unlike you, Jacob Zuma. You know, you came up with the phrase. Is it Jacob Zuma who came up with the phrase? Mr. Jacob Zuma, I apologize unreservedly. I think it's EFF that came up with the concept of expropriation without compensation. It's not not you. But I know when you are a radical transformation, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But yeah, nevertheless, when Bab Zuma, we will talk about look, we'll talk about, let's talk about what the guy said. Maybe he should have had said, I just give him the painting if he knew he did not have the money. I did not want to put pressure on him before because I did not have the financial problems, but he continued to stall, and I told him that I need money. I sent him the invoice he requested, says this man, right? These naked Zuma paintings are getting tired and lack of originality. Luma artists must find another angle. How kusho abantu on Twitter. ah, the problem is now the problem now. I tried to contact Norma. She no longer answer my calls or respond to my messages. I cannot just go to Nkandla and get the painting without permission from the security and the police there. The initial she initially said we must continue negotiations until we resolve the issue with the former presidents. Gusho the guy who's being owed. Well, if you ask me, do I believe or disbelieve the story? I don't know at this moment. But you ask yourself a question: 120,000 rand to Jacob Zuma. What is 120,000 rand? Like, to be quite honest, this guy, he will continue getting paid until death. Even if he goes to prison, he will earn as a president. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how much are they earning. Is it the 2 point something million rand a month? I'm not sure, but I think it's around there. I stand to be corrected. I'm a man, Bonanda, since subject to correction. But yeah, they do earn quite a lot, and they have a lot of benefits. So you ask yourself a question to a person like Jacob Zuma. A lot of people would have said, Jacob Zuma can pay for you, don't worry. He's got a lot of people that support him, by the way, who are businessmen. So they will be like, yeah, we can pay for you. It's not a big deal. His son is a billionaire. He can just decide, you know what? Let's pay for this one, man. Let's move this man out of the way. Let's just pay him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. There's more to the story than what meets the eye. That's all I can tell you. Now, there's a fiction that says, listen, we reject what the court says. I like the fact that, when I say it in confidence, we reject what the court said. Those fiction, that fiction. I think, do you remember during the election, the ANC what conference? So remember those guys who say, I think they are the ones who are rejecting this. They're like, we reject what the court says, not to us. This is what they say. You know what I'm saying? This is what they say. Look, this is what they said. National chairperson of the RET fiction, Nkosencha, shares said, not that I'm planning trouble, but you shall see trouble. Our people have not changed, but we have said it on a number of occasions that we stand with former Jacob President Zuma. The African National Congress, ANC, so-called Radical Economic Transformation, RET, has vowed to defend former President Jacob Zuma as he faces a renewed threat of arrest. This comes after the Constitutional Court upheld a decision by a lower court to set aside Jacob Zuma's parole. The Constitutional Court ruling effectively means that Zuma needs to return to prison to finish serving his 15 months jail term for being in contempt of court when he snapped the state-kept commission. Right. Now, this is what he said. Our judges really are overlooking the fact that there is a separation of powers in this country, and there are other institution of government that must be given a fair share of governance. So we reject the decision by the Constitutional Court. Oh, yeah, my thought. Ramaphosa ausitshele wenze enuzuma. I think right now they are singing that song. Ramaphosa ausitshele wenze enuzuma. Yeah, hey, welcome to South Africa. We've got our own politics in this country. Remember that again. We're moving from this RET, radical transformation, radical economical transformation. They are saying, listen, we reject that Zuma, he has been arrested. We reject it I think they reject it with their breath. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Say it, with oomph. Now, it looks like EFF, they are echoing the same words. They are saying, well, I'm post, I was chair, do you want to see this country burning? Ram, please come here. That's what EFF says. They said, wait a minute. So you want this country to burn because now you want to arrest Zuma. Remember in my intro, I said that the torturing of trucks is linked to Zuma, according to an article that I saw this morning, right? It is linked to Zuma going back to prison. So now you understand the question Malema when he said that. So you arresting this guy, do you mean that you want troubles? So you want the country to burn again? Ramaphosa, please. It's not what I said. Because I know you guys are gonna say, it's not what I say. Speaking during his engagement with reporters at the Moscow hotel in Santin on Friday, Malema revealed that he pleaded with Zuma to cooperate when he was facing the prospect of going to jail in order to avoid violence. Now, Uti Malema, when President Zuma was refusing to go to the commission, those things of the Constitutional Court, I went to visit him and I pleaded with him and I said, President Zuma, you don't choose anything. Go there and speak. Go and put your perspective. It doesn't matter what the decision is. Then he says, I wanted to avoid what happened. He says about the July unrest. Then he continues to say, when I called yesterday, his phone didn't go through. So I went looking for his phone number. Malema said, you know what's going to be the decision of the Department of Correctional Service. The president's hand are not tied, and that's what we want to remind him of. We have reached a point where we must choose peace over all types of things. We have reached a decision where we must choose peace over all types of things rather than say no one is above the law. Zuma has served his sentence. It is enough. Why do you still want to burn this country even after person has served? Now you must have seen his expression. Why do you want to see the country to burn? Even when after the things that happened in July, you still want this country to burn. But again, if I was Malema, I would have teased the current sitting president, Mr. Ramaphosa, because you know what he say, you know how he does things, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think to be quite honest, guys, I know a lot. I saw a lot of comments I'm about to respond to, by the way. I saw a lot of comments of people saying that everybody must serve his punishment. But I think there come a time where you need to use a certain way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? I remember myself, we were a leader in one of the church that I go to. So we were in charge of the entire church, right? So we had to make decisions, right? Now, we found that there were a lot of people that have wronged the church in all way, shape, or form. And when we took the constitution, we realized that if we had to censure a lot of people, I'm telling you, we knew that the church was going to be empty. So we had to make a decision. The decision was, let's be lenient. Others who were supposed to get a 1-year suspension, we gave them 1 month suspension. You know what I'm saying? Because we were then sending the message that nobody is above the law. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of it all, we knew that if we had to censure people, we knew that we will lose a lot of people because we don't have that the muscle as well as a congregation. Now I'm saying to you, we as a congregation, you looked at things and we saw that, hey, you know what, disciplining these people under the disguise that everybody must be treated the same might have more repercussions that are detrimental to the progress of the very same institution we are heading. Instead of taking such a decision, let's rather send the same message that nobody's above the law, but be lenient, so that at least we, you know what I'm saying, we balance the scale. I think it mean, looking at what we did with the late Bab Chimboza, when we took that church, he passed away a few months ago. I think what Malema is saying is actually the same thing. I remember that advice, by the way, came by this late man that I'm talking about. He was like, hey, we stand a chance of losing more in this one. So I'm saying, Mina, I think I agree. I've done it because I know those church members that might be watching this video, they will remember that incident, and they'll be like, but you can't be inconsistent with your own decision. Yeah, I did something like that. And I think as a country, we have arrived in a similar situation. And we long arrived in that situation where we need to look beyond the idea that is everybody below or above the law or equal to the law. I don't know. I think we have reached a point where we must look at the consequences of our decisions and be mindful of the consequences rather than just being driven by the idea that everybody is not that word. No one is above the law. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Arresting President Jacob Zuma, what repercussions will it bring upon our country? If it disturbs the peace of this country, our economy is already collapsing. Will it ever be a good decision 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, looking backward? Will you be proud of the decision to arrest President Jacob Zuma and destabilize the economy even further? I don't know. Let's meet in the comment section below. Till then, please take care.